Welcome back to part two of Cozy Women Podcast, talking about child abuse, connecting to adults and insecurities. Part two with Drake from Everything Culture. I appreciate you guys for listening. Let's get back into it. Hey guys, just a reminder there is Mama's Cozy Closet that has some merch on there for moms out there. So if you're interested in getting a cute sweatshirt, like kids again, getting a cute sweatshirt, a fanny pack, or a mug, I got some goodies on there for you guys. All right, peace.
Man,
Like, I'm not always yelling, but why can't y'all just do what I asked the first time when I say it nicely, so I don't feel
yeah.
like I have to yell? And with girls, they're always in their feelings, and
It's,
I explain to them what words mean that I say,
see,
and they'll hear cuss words and be like, "What does that mean? Why did he say that when he did that?" And I'll explain to them because I don't want them to be out in the street, someone talk
see,
to them a certain way and them not know.
but we have to remember, we get into that we are categorizing now with girls.
Yeah.
Boys could be the same way, you know.
They could, but
I'm just,
since I don't have no experience with that, I don't want to speak on
I absolutely understand. So it's like with your kids, it's different, but that boy versus girl, man, I've seen some girls that's tough. Then I've seen some boys like, because once again, I wasn't always like this. My mom used to curse and all that. I had to learn to be like this. You know what I mean?
it. Yeah.
I had to become this. All right. It's I was one of those kids. I think like, where did you learn this behavior from? I'm like, motherfucker, I learned from y'all. Like, I learned cursing from my family. Like, I don't know where you got that from, but like, anything new, like, I don't use, but the stuff I use for my family, snake in the grass, bastard, dunce, all this like bastard, all these stuff like that. I got that from y'all. Like, it's just what it is. But I just know that if we're trying to break those cycles, you have to break that cycle. But I don't believe some cycles need to be broken either. I think some of these things that I'm like, it's necessary for survival, like fighting. I would teach I wouldn't put my kids in boxing, taekwondo, how to throw dirt, like, cause right now, for real, I want my kids to hold it over, use it on their dad. I don't think they would want to use them because they're gonna have that respect.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things. The world, I think, I'm preparing my kids for anything the world's gonna throw at them,
Yeah.
emotionally, physically, therapeutically, as much as I can, and try to teach them how to use resources. But whatever I can't give to them, they know where to go and get it. Okay, I'm trying to have some little. I want some have some little MacGyvers around this motherfucker. Okay.
Listen, that was the show.
Like, and because it's necessary, it really is. But the main thing with abuse is we have to break that cycle.
Yeah.
That's like, I used to be the last kid to be picked up at school. I know why I don't like being late. You see, I showed up early for this show. Okay, I don't like being stood up. The worst thing you can do to me is stand me up and lie to me. That's the worst thing you can do to me.
Because you're already mentally prepared for disappointment from people.
Exactly. So when I have an expectation from people and you fail me, I'm like, I don't need you around with me. I don't.
Yeah.
When I feel like you're gonna stab me in my back, if you don't like me, tell me you don't like me. I'm okay. I can find other people
that
like
directness, and people take it as me being mean. No, I'm just direct. My mother and my grandfather, that passed, her father, were the only people in my family that purposely make it a point to be before time. Everybody in my family show up late.
No.
And I'm trying to teach my kids that if you're before time, that's you being on time because you're prepared for anything that could possibly happen to make you late.
Correct. But we follow these stereotypes and stuff, and even myself, I've been came to the point that I used to do these Zoom meetings and I used to be early, and I'm like, where everybody at?
Yeah.
But I can't stop being who I am, because I've seen that other side and I didn't like it. Do what you like. If I want to be on time, I want to be on time. If I want to, I don't. You shouldn't be shamed for what you like to do and what you like to feel, but you got to be around people that fit. Like it's okay to be like once again, same thing with everything culture. I'm okay learning what other people are doing and how other people celebrate certain holidays and events and lives and victories in their life and milestones. Do I have to do it? No, but I can learn why, and so I can understand. Cool. But I don't have to do the same thing.
You don't have to be ignorant to it, but that doesn't have to be a part
Absolutely.
of our move.
Absolutely, because I have my foundation.
Yeah, and that's what people need, and a lot of people don't have that core value.
Yeah.
I think if people deal with the abuse that they've endured, whether it's like physical, mental, emotional, verbal, as a child, then you won't have to worry about like you being withdrawn socially. You creating self-doubt within yourself. That's why you don't go for the things that you deserve or you should go for. Or
but also
you're like a trusting people.
Not even lacking trust. Oh, it could be. It could go that way. But I'm also to the point of if you have that confidence within yourself, and you know, like I said, my stuff come from life experience and wisdom, and I'm like, I'm cool with not being the popular kid in school. I've been a popular kid. I've been the unpopular kid. Okay, I'm cool with that. Once again, as an adult, I don't have to subscribe to that. I don't. But if you come from an abusive home, sometimes you're going to try to attach what seems like love, but it's really just abuse and neglect all over again. You're gonna go back to that cycle. Like, unfortunately, like, you know, we're talking about even women in domestic violent relationships, and you know, you loud and you listen. People, you shut the fuck up and listen to people. Sometimes you be like, wow, see where this come from. I was just talking to someone on the show last weekend that, you know, I was asking, you know, where do you fall in kids, and they're like, they're a middle child. And I'm like, you feel like a middle child? They're like, absolutely. And then when I asked how does she parent her children, she parent her children in a whole way of they get attention, every single one of them. And she put a strong emphasis. She would quit her damn job to go to school to make sure her kids' needs are being met. Now, coming from some people's mindset is like, how these kids go eat? If I quit the job, what's going to be done? But she knows what's a priority to her is attention, is affection, and being there for them. You know, same thing with my family. My family's kind of like, we don't miss birthdays. You know, birthdays a big deal in my family. Like, we celebrate one another, we enjoy one another. Christmas, we link up. If you ain't coming for the holidays, why? What happened?
See, my family's not like that at all.
My wife, but my wife family, they're kind of like, oh, we understand. Go out and work. They cool. But they come from everybody work. Everybody have their mindset, and you know they don't put that guilt trip on you. My family, oh my. Well, and I'm talking about enemy. I'm talking about immediate family too. But my immediate family is like shit. I'm like, y'all fucking gotta chill. They would like when I was moving, like with her family when we was moving to Seattle. They most were supportive. You know, they're like, yay, happy y'all come back, blah blah blah. They would come see you. About 80% of my family was like that. But it was a strong, well, let's say 70% of my family was like that. But it was a strong 30 that was like, my sister broke. I'm talking about completely broke down, like hurt, cry. Like you hear the cracks in her voice, crying and shit. And it was like my aunt cried in her voice too. You know, it was like I've been in Houston for 13 years. Y'all done saw me 4 times in Houston. Shut up.
Listen, and that's what keeps a lot of family members that are the helpers of everybody in environments that don't feed them. They can't, I can't move because my grandma needs me. I can't move because my mom needs me.
You got to stop that right there. See, you talking about a whole different topic. You about to go into a whole nother episode right there that I'm about to take, and we're going to be talking about that on Everything Culture.
But I feel like that too is a form of abuse.
It could be emotional. Absolutely.
Yes. You emotionally holding me hostage by not wanting me to further
guilt tripping,
myself.
gaslighting.
Yes, because you are going to feel a loss.
Trust me, I was like, what's the uncle from next Friday. Oh my gosh, Uncle, is it not Uncle Junior? Was it?
I can't remember.
When he told me when he hit the, I was in the hood. I was doing this. You know, I was in the community. I was down. When I hit the lottery, I was gone. That's all I'm like. When I got my scholarships, man. Ooh. I love my community where I'm from. That's why I'll be shouting them out and bringing them up. Yeah. But man, when I can't. Like my story, I was gonna move to so I'm from Tyler, okay, East Texas, but my majority of my family lives in the Metroplex, Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Grand Prairie, all that good stuff. Sorry, I see what people be talking about when your phone go off when you have a MacBook and stuff. That is annoying, but I don't know how to. Whatever. But I'm like, I was gonna go to University of Texas at Arlington because I want to be around my family. I used to say I'm gonna make enough money where I'm gonna buy a whole street of houses, and all my family, I want them to live in each one of these houses.
I actually have an ex that has that, and when they have family reunions, they have to rent buses.
Okay?
It's ridiculous.
See, and that's how close I wouldn't say I would. That's how much faith I had in my family. Okay? I love. Hey, if y'all hearing this, I still love y'all. But y'all know what I will tell y'all this directly if I haven't told y'all already.
Yeah.
But man, I went up to. I was dating a different. This is before I started dating my wife. Went up there to visit, and I was trying to, at the same time, I'm trying to check it out. I had a little boo up there and all that. I'm trying to get my little thing going on, and look at, school, see what the environment is like. Every house I went to, and I have a lot of people up there. It's like a good 10 to 12 houses and people I can stay with. Easy. Man, every house fighting, arguing, screaming. I'm like, okay, I can't stay here, go over here. I got to the point I started keeping my clothes in the car because I'm just bouncing around so often. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable even unpacking over here. And I remember I was chilling with the chick I was talking with at the time, and doing some, trying to, get familiar, okay? And everything's in the mix. Like, I am having an awesome time, everything good. Yeah. I get no less. This is when text messages cost 10 cents, okay? I got a good 20 text messages and phone calls. My phone blowing up. Different family members. I'm like, who the fuck died? And I my family's out of work. I call pick up. Brandon, we need you to come over here. So and so then threatened to fight my sister, and her baby husband, whatever. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how, my head is what? I need to go over there, but my other head is fuck them. They are doing too much, okay?
My other head.
The other one's but and it was even the kids were fighting with other kids. They having me breaking up fights. And that's when I can't live up here. Y'all ain't, nope. And I don't care how y'all feel. Nope. I'll tell one of my sisters, when you go move up here with y'all, when y'all have kids, I'm like, no. Was my kids, bro, I'm telling, it's just, I see why people move away from some of these things. I never would turn my back on them. I would never do that.
Oh, no.
But I understand why people move. I understand. I absolutely understand.
I just never felt like the relationship that I'm supposed to have is supposed to be arguments every day, and I'm supposed to stay because I love a person. And
some people come from that. I'm telling you, some people but that's their cycle. That's what it's like. I used to see my grandparents. My grandparents are married for 60-something years. 60-something years. I can't tell you one day they didn't argue though.
I said I don't want that.
But I also can't tell you one night they didn't sleep in the same bed and tell each other they love each other either. That's the thing. I've seen people, I've never seen them say they love each other. But I never seen them argue. I've seen them argue a little passive aggressive punk ass arguments. Yeah. Nothing but I never seen them say they truly loved each other. So that is I'm trying to go from, let me have that balance what you're trying to do with your kids. Let's not argue, but tell each other we love each other every day.
That's my other thing with that affection is my mom wasn't anti-affectionate, but she had parents that were not affectionate. And so growing up with us, she wasn't like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Hug me. I didn't hug you today. But I know she felt that. Now that she has 12 grandkids, I love you, Anya. I love you, Ari. Give me a hug. And I'm just like, who is this? And where was Ari up at? And
I think a lot of people deal with that with their parents doing that with their kids. You're not the only one that like.
It's wild.
I think because they ain't their kids. That's why they can love them, but it's your responsibility. I think it's different when it's their responsibility and you gotta love.
Yeah, and I make it a point to be like, oh, I can't think of the last time I hugged my kids. Let me just hug them. And let me tell them that I love them, because I don't want them to ever grow up feeling like, oh, I think my mom loved me, but she ain't never say it.
See, I know my mother. Like, that's one thing. I know even all the crazy stuff there with my mother loved me. I knew that. You know, she just was throwed in the motherfucker, okay? Same thing with, you know, my cousin, like my family, we are big on, and I'm big on. I had my best friend that was killed. Like, we were young, and he's like, you know, I'm thankful I have had friends and people that have been in my life that was before their times where he was like, I don't think it was no homo popular when in 2004. I can't remember. But either way, you know, but I'm telling you, that's what Cal used to say. He used to say, man, I love you, man. And we was like, you know, what the fuck you coming from? Hey, it's not gay. I don't go fuck what you say, but I love you as a friend, you know? Like, and I was like, we used to like chill out. And I was like, they didn't like me because I used to take pictures all the time. Like, I was the picture guy. Like, nobody was kicking it. I had one of them the little Fujis and them little Kodaks. I used to round that thing up and pop them. I used to work at CVS and Eckers, that's why. But I used to take, and I used to work in the photo lab, so I knew how to get print the negatives and all that. See, a lot of people ain't even know what that mean right there. But but this is before Instagram. I was Instagram shit. I'm like, but it was one of the things that we had a group of friends that we loved each other, you know, and we said we loved each other, and we could hug, and you know, we like it was like some lean on me shit, you know what I mean? And to have him die was like, and get like right in front of us, and like it was an impactful moment. And that's how I was compared. That's the closest thing to my mother passing that fucked me up, you know, because it's just wow, you know, it's like how life can happen to you so quickly. And you know, when kids going through abuse and neglect, and like I still mentor one of my kids, you know, that he is, I need to give his, I was supposed to give him a call when it was the right way home, but I was freaking out because I was late. That's a whole thing, you know, about. But man, I talk about my story. I know his story. I was his caseworker. I became his guardian ad litem. Then I became his mentor. And I've been in his life for going on 14 years now. Okay? Since he was 11 years old. No, damn. That ain't been 14 years. It had to be 13 years. 2009. So it's been 11 years. I say that. And I will send you the link to his video that my job put up about him, my relationship with him and his volunteer. But it was like, you don't supposed to be where you at, kid. Your mama did a job on his ass. Yeah. His mama tried to stab him, tase him, had him selling drugs. His brother locked up in the penitentiary, got shot 6 times. His mama set him up to do some shit. Like, I can sit down here and complain about all the shit that I've dealt with, but there's somebody out here that had a worse life than I've had. Yeah. You know? So, and they could be doing well. So you don't have to be, and that's why I try to tell them, go to therapy, find your counseling. I don't want him going towards and keep it a bug go. And I'm not saying he could go to, but I would get knee deep in his ass, with my foot in his ass. He say, I don't like black women because they do this and this shit my mama used to do. Listen. Because just like you say because I see, well, fuck your mama. He might say, yeah, fuck her. You know, and he have all the right to say that shit. Yeah. But you shouldn't use that hurt against other people that look like her. you know,
And it blocks you from opportunity. And it'll block you from opportunity and people who
absolutely
might be completely for you.
But like what you were saying when you had your absolute horrific event with being mugged, he he dealt with that with a black woman. That's the main black woman that was supposed to love him. The main person that was supposed to love him hurt him more than like I don't think anybody else in his life right now that's hurt him. You know, so it's like I tell him you can't use that as an excuse. You know, you can't. But he used to be like, man, real hard. And like, once again, if you know his story, you'll be like, shit. But I don't use that as an excuse. So hopefully we can continue to break cycles. And I try to break cycles by being an example to break the cycle. Not just pointing at people and saying what you could do. And I said, look what I'm doing. Know my story. Here's somebody else's story. This is what people are going through. And he aged out of CPS care. And I know, you have a story too to tell. I would like to, have you on a show about it in the near future. But it's like having him age out. It's like he's a ward of the state. He legally does not have a parent, So it's like something that I legally don't have parents as well. That I'm a ward of the state. I was able to not only get scholarships but other benefits as well. But it's just one of them things that it's like, man, being abused and neglected, you have to find a way to deal with it. It's a lot of people don't know if they were even abused and neglected because it's normal to them,
Yeah.
And no matter what, I see a lot of people that we know. I would love to interview them. I would love to talk to them. I don't want to psychoanalyze them because that's what I'm doing though.
It's a lifetime thing because let's say that was my upbringing for many years.
It's your culture.
And then I have kids. And on top of me having kids, I have daughters. So I internalize them being me.
Yep.
So I'm just like super like this about them and who they're around and what I expose them to. And I gotta not control them, but be in control of their surroundings a lot more because...
You think you'd do the same if you had a son?
Yes.
I don't think you would.
I think I would because I've seen it on my brother's side where they dismiss that and feel like it has nothing to do with how they are today. And it has everything to do with how you are today. And then I see like my brothers have nothing but daughters that dealt with abuse, but they don't talk about it. And they just feel like I'm supposed to live this new life where I have a wife and I have kids, and it's supposed to be completely cut off because they're not connected, and they are connected. So
like my aunt, because like something you say is like reminding me of one of my aunts, and she had daughters and she had that you took care of me. But the thing about it, her youngest daughter, which is like 12, 14 years older than me, she always she gets like legit mad sometimes. Like, why the fuck he get to do all this shit? We weren't able to do all that. You would have cut our fucking heads off of that shit. Yeah. And I always be fucking with them because y'all wasn't me, first and foremost, and y'all was fucking up out here. They tell me so. Yeah, basically y'all get caught. That's the thing about it, but it's one of those things where I know it's a gender role, it's a stereotype, but, and I mean this in the way I understand it, the way the world has me to understand it. And I'm not saying it's right either, because I know some people are like, oh, he being misogynistic, blah, 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 shut the fuck up. But my point is, it's not being misogynistic, it's stating it. I'm stating what I'm stating. It is misogynistic, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean I believe in that value. It's like I'm saying it was the privilege. It's the same thing. If I was white, I can say there's a such thing as white privilege, and that's because I'm being a male. I have a male privilege. Okay, that's one of the questions we have. We all have certain privileges and disadvantages, but white people have white men have the least here in America. And argue with your mama, but or come on the show and tell me something different. How about that? Talk to me. Let's not argue, let's have a discussion. But it's a situation where I knew that I can go out and do certain things, but I think another podcast when I talk about it, like being mugged. You don't think I think about people trying to mug me either? It's a reason I put these muscles on, damn it. Like shit. It's like I know motherfuckers go try you. Like I know that. Same thing like wearing jewelry. Like be careful. Motherfuckers gonna be looking for you. Motherfuckers out like it's rap gonna be just because being a man that's normal. That shit shouldn't be normal.
Yeah.
This shit should be normal. I have to fucking worry about. But I've had cousins that like every time we see these motherfuckers on site, they're younger. We got the box. Because he wanted you to be the masculine. You have to be a man. You got to fight. They don't want no punk ass cousins. I'm telling you, to the point where I swole up and he like it took 3 licks. He never, and it's crazy. He never wanted no more smoke. And it was like, come on, I'm ready now. You there? You good? You can take care of yourself. Like it was
it's like when
all these headlocks and fucking full Nelsons and shit you done put me. Motherfucker, you 12 years older than me, and you a grown ass adult man fighting my ass as you 18. I'm fucking 8 and shit. You fighting me?
Jamaican family members are aggressive in everything. Aggressive in this whooping. Every whooping may feel like it's your last day trying to kill me, not trying to teach me. You go to the beach, your uncles is throwing you deep in the ocean to teach you how to swim. There's a better method. There's a safer method, but they just super aggressive.
But that's that same thing with being a man. And I want that shit dangerous. Don't throw me in the water. Even though I used to drag my homeboy in the water. It's crazy, It's I can't say I haven't. I'm saying it's wrong, but I've done it before. I have. I've literally like with my co-host G-Jack. Me and my other homeboy threw him in the water and drug him to the deep end because he didn't know how to swim. Like you go learn today. That's stupid as hell. That was dumb as hell. I used to do a lot of dumb shit. And I look back and I like and see. I used to see these videos of women get upset because I have sisters too. When we used to play in the water. Like of a woman getting thrown in the pool and shit, and women like, oh my god, that should be assault. In my head,
no, that's regular stuff. I have 5 brothers.
So if you didn't, my birthday in the summer, okay, we pool party, we have fun, we joke around. If you the girl not getting thrown in the pool, you be like, what's wrong with me?
They don't like me. They don't want to play with me.
Because we ain't gonna touch the ugly girl. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm just keeping it's the sign of flirting, but I'm understanding if you don't know the culture, you're gonna look on the outside and be like, that's wrong, stop it.
Yeah.
But on the other end, if you come from a culture that like that shit is dangerous, that shit is a problem, maybe we should stop it, until something happened. Has everybody made it through it? Like my mother used to tell me my grandfather threw her in a pool. She didn't know how to swim so long as she lived.
My mom still don't know how to swim, but that's what her family did.
But those are the type of things that we experience in our cultures that I guess we talk about toxic things we've had in our cultures. Maybe we should change. We should keep it along. Like with complete ass whoopers and not explaining. I was on Humvee show this Monday, and we'll like the video of it's an 8-year-old little girl that was like taking provocative photos of herself and videos and posting it online, and the mama saw it and you probably posted a video in the chat, and mama just started beating her ass in the car. And
I had posted a video of an 8-year-old girl riding her bike, and a car came and just hit her smack dab. Stopped, watched her.
I remember I saw you posted that
and
today.
Just drove off. I'm just like, yo, what's wrong with people?
It's an evil world.
That's crazy.
I say this all the time. It's an evil world with good people in it. It's not a good world with evil people in it. That's why I'm sorry. So I remember saying that at my job when I was as a guardian ad litem, and some of my coworkers got upset, and I'm like, tell me something different, because you're a white woman. You may not see the shit I see. In my lens that I have.
Yeah.
That even in the Bible, this is not heaven. This is not peace. This is darkness. He brought light. It was darkness before light. So when I'm here, I'm gonna try to illuminate as much light as I can. Try to bring as much good as I can.
Yeah.
When and you know, it could be some people that's dark. They're gonna like, oh, I don't like that. I believe you. I believe you. And you know, I try to keep my things going within my circle. But with the whole thing with the child abuse, like right now I work within hunger, and hunger doesn't have to happen. I believe that. Child abuse doesn't have to happen, but I think it's human nature. I think because it's war. Like if we have a full war right now, fight, you don't think they're gonna kill women and children?
Of course.
That's child abuse. But when we talk about domestic violence, it shouldn't happen either. I'm like, that's how I think. I'm like, how can you stop it? I'm gonna try to minimize it as much as possible. Try to communicate. Try to talk. Try to come on shows like this. Try to talk house shows like this, and where we can really have an understanding how it can make a difference in an individual. But some people think, just like we're talking about throwing in the pool, some people think beating the shit out of a child think it'll make them a stronger person. They think the trauma is going to make them better.
Yeah. And because I had trauma, you got to have trauma because you got to know how to deal with struggle.
Yep. I absolutely disagree.
Of course.
I hear, when I was listening to Shout Out to Lee with Take Up Space and Champions Discourse, when I was hearing her family say they didn't experience racism until their second job. What?
Yeah.
How are you black and did experience racism in America?
The environment.
The environment. Wasn't even really explained. When I tell you, that's a baby picture of me right there. I was told about racism right there. Okay, that's all yo. Some little probably white person in East Texas came out. Oh, look at them nigger cheeks. Like I'm like, like I knew about racism at a very early age, you know, and I'm like, that's beautiful. I'm gonna raise my children be cautious, but I would like to raise them where they don't have to experience it, but when it happens, they know how to take it on.
And that's why I'm very honest and blunt with mine, because I don't want them in the clouds about why am I chosen to do this and why are they this, and I just want them to be aware of it and know that there's a better way to treat people. And not everybody in authority or a uniform is going to treat you as equal. And you have to speak up. Don't have to be disrespectful, but you have to speak up when things like that happen.
Well, come tell me.
Listen, because my father was very racist. You would think my father was a white man on a plantation, but he was a Jamaican man living in Philadelphia. And when he would see Black people, he would talk to them as if he was a master on a plantation and
even though he's
slaves.
Black as well.
Yes.
Because he went into the proper Canada, because since there was American slaves, that they are different.
Or even because he had money, now he looked like the people on the money and not the people that needed money. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's a mentality, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad he wasn't the main one that raised me, because I probably would have had some of that.
And that's what goes in the culture. If you were raised to see that, why would you think anything different unless you were exposed to the positive, the realest shit? Same thing with white people with Black grandchildren, and now they're not so racist anymore.
Listen, we all take our lessons differently.
Hey, you know what? That's why I'm like, I'm about to just cash out my mentee. It's like I want to cry with this little motherfucker. He ain't little no more. But when he like 18, he said he was trying to do something. And I was like, man, you know, you sure you want to do that? You know, I don't have any advice for you about that. He like, I know, but that's what you always said. You like, because I used to beat this in these kids, as many young men I work with. I said, you got several different ways you go learn. You go learn by going through something, and you learn right there. You can see somebody else go through it, and you can learn from that. Or you just keep doing the shit over and over again. You don't learn at all. Please don't be the third option. Please don't. And he was like, you know, I never seen you do it and nobody else do it, so I got to try it myself. If it doesn't work, I just stop right there. And I like, this motherfucker listens. Like, he listens. Okay, I like that. He listens. That's I don't ask you to do everything I want. I don't ask you to do what I say. Just listen. You know.
Yeah.
But Cause I'm like, whew.
Can you tell the people where to reach you or listen to the show?
You can reach just the show. You don't worry about my personal stuff. Support Everything Culture. So it's what you ain't doing on video, but it's EveryThang Culture. You can find us on Facebook. We have a great little group and community. You can find us, our fan page on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can go to www.everythingculture.com. You can go to dyme designs.com if you want to get some of our merchandise. We're running short on shirts, but we go chop up with Shan about this Teespring in a moment.
Hey.
But you also can check us out on Twitter, EveryTHG Culture, or even on Tumblr, Everything Culture. And YouTube, you can find us on everyone. You want to look up a podcast, you can find us anywhere there. But on YouTube, go check us out on YouTube at Everything Culture again. But once again, I would say our little slogan, our motto is from Martin Luther King, that we believe men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have misunderstandings, and that's why we have so much fear and hate. So we try to talk about our differences and our cultures and our background so we can have an understanding, so we can love one another. That's a little gist. All right.